In this episode, my man Abhishek Mishra? He's gone. Mishra. In this episode, my man Abhishek Mishra sits down with me and we talk about stand-up comedy.
Welcome to the Audacious Dutchman.
And Jack, you can help yourself to the fridge at any point. Sitting over there like a fucking fiend munching on these party pies. Look at him with his Charlie Sheen shirt on.
He's alright. He's having fun.
Yeah.
He's so busy. This is holidays for him.
100%. Have you noticed this like trend of like everyone wearing this type of shirt? And it's literally 2.5 men. I don't know how to spell his last name.
Charlie Sheen?
A half men.
I love Charlie Sheen, bro. He's the best. Yeah, I know the shirt you're referring to, but
he always wears this type of shirt. Yeah, a lot of people were wearing it like 2 or 3 years ago. Like these sorts of like...
Yeah.
Which is not the same as what he's wearing now, but he also wore a lot of that sort of shirt too. I just can't find any pictures of it now. Anyway.
Yeah, but I know exactly what you're talking about. That's what Charlie wears, yeah. These, I haven't seen so much of it, I would say. It's,
I've never seen it. I've just seen... I don't so much go for these laugh track style comedy sitcoms. You know what I mean? Like Friends. Have you ever seen...
you don't... Yeah, I've seen Friends.
Have you ever seen Friends without the laugh track?
Friends without the... no, I have not seen that.
Or do you like The Big Bang Theory?
I have seen it. I've seen it.
Without laugh track.
It's daily half to be a madness with crazy deals on Samsung.
Congratulations, JB. Get some free publicity.
Yeah.
Nothing makes beer taste better than cool, clear Rocky Mountains spring water.
How awkward is that?
Anyway.
That is awkward.
Philadelphia.
Really? I thought they were out west someplace.
Think about it, Raj. Where did the movie Rocky take place?
Philadelphia. Okay, now I get it.
So this is the plan? From now on, we're just gonna hide out in here to avoid the shamey?
I'm very comfortable here.
Anyway, I can't watch this anymore. It's so awkward.
I don't understand why sitcoms feel the need to add that laugh track when movies, because there's comedy movies out there as well. And like, shouldn't the point be similar? Like
poor writing.
Yeah,
poor insecure writing.
You reckon poor writing?
Absolutely.
Because people love Friends. Like, do you reckon it's because of the fact that the laugh tracks are in there? People are like, oh, no, that is funny.
Absolutely.
So that's how they make people believe, yeah, this is funny. You better like it. Because it's
absolutely.
Global. Like, there's people in Korea, you can go to Zimbabwe, and people have seen Friends there.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of comedians get pinged for putting laugh tracks in their specials.
Ooh, you think comedians are doing that?
I'm not sure if they're actually doing it, but I know Tom Segura was accused of it, and do you know who Tom Segura is?
I know who Tom Segura is.
Yeah. And he was no, I'm not doing that. But I know of other comedians who do it, and he was very like nondescript about it. But apparently, it's a thing.
It's yeah. Look, I feel like when you're yeah, because these guys, I feel like the big guys are already performing in front of thousands of people. Like, because here's the thing about performing in front of large audiences, because you just need a few people to laugh and it sounds good. Like, as you continue on with your set, like, of course, not, like, there will be some A+ material where people will just clap and laugh and then it's just, like, extreme. But then when you're just talking about, like, when you're just setting up your premise and you're just putting jokes here and there, there's still laughter. So it just doesn't feel like, you know, the silence is not there for too long, I feel.
Well, you know how I'm sure, like, you know how you get a good room and a bad room? Yeah. I feel like the idea of the good room and the bad room is the same as the laugh track. No? Like, there's a volume of laughter in the room already. You know what I mean? Like, the crowd... I don't know. What do you think makes like a good room and a bad room? I feel like the difference is they're easy to laugh or not easy to laugh. And I feel like laughter is contagious, which means a bad room is nobody's... Because there's no way 30 people came to not laugh.
Yeah, there's no way. And especially if they're paid. Look, yeah, so here's the thing. Because at open mic levels where people are just coming, people don't know you. But if you are funny... and people start laughing, of course it's contagious. So you're right. The whole room pretty much starts applauding and starts supporting you as a comic.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about the big comedians like Tom Segura, Kevin Hart, all these big comedians. They're performing in front of 2,000-3,000 people. And these people are there because they love that comic. These people are not there because they just heard about Tom Segura. They know Tom Segura. They've seen their act.
Yep.
And they are there to have a good time. So when you pay $80 tickets to go see Chris Rock or Tom Segura, you are there to laugh. Or like Andrew Schultz was here. And some of my comic friends who went there, they were like, there were 2 or 3 opening acts who took about 30 minutes of the time to open for Andrew Schultz.
Yep.
And they were like, we don't need any of the opening acts. We are just too hot for Andrew Schultz.
Yep.
They're like, we just want to see him. And as soon as he came, as soon as he opens his mouth, people are like applauding, clapping, laughing, and it was a great show. So that's that does, I guess, come into play. Like when people are coming to see you, you wouldn't really need to put the laugh tracks in, I feel. But,
yes.
Yeah, unless you do a really horrible job, like which would be hard given that you are a comedian with so much experience behind you, backing you up. It's like you don't necessarily need to do that. You just go there, you do your thing. You've already learned everything. You've tested your material, and that's why you're doing 1 hour now.
Yes,
because you've tested your material. You know it's good.
Dude, imagine writing a new hour every year.
Oh yeah, oh man, it is in a way. I feel for me it would be a dream come true if I can make money off of producing a special every year. It's the most beautiful thing because you are pretty much, because even the writing part, it's not just the comedy where you're making people laugh that's satisfying. Even the writing part, thinking of different angles, how I can make it funny is very rewarding.
Even just being a paid regular anywhere.
Yeah. You can be a paid regular, so you're still making money, and then your special, obviously, if you like, depending on your reputation, I guess, like if who you're selling your special to.
Yeah.
Of course, there's too many ways you can make revenue come in when you're a stand-up comedian. Of course, you go on you do lots of different things on TV, network, and So
how long have you been doing it for now?
I've been doing it for about 7 months.
Yeah, right.
7 months. Yeah, still relatively new. Still in the open mic ecosystem of Melbourne. But look, it's been great. Like the people, like the great thing I would say about the Australian comedy is the people you meet, the community. Like I wouldn't think they would be that accepting and helpful and welcoming.
I was worried too.
But yeah, that's where I met you. I met you at the Solace. I met you and you were there, and I don't remember if I saw you perform, but you did get on, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, you got on. And
at the end of the fucking night.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I mean, there's some comedians come in, and of course, if you are like a bigger comedian who've already built up their reputation, you would get, you would get to go before other guys. So you
100%.
do have that advantage. But look, if you are a good comedian who put in the hours and put in the work, maybe you should get that privilege in a way.
Absolutely.
I feel.
No, I didn't feel entitled to the idea that I should walk in and get let's say it was 6th, which I think I started at 6th.
Yeah.
And then so I think I ended up going like 19th or something like that. Because people would come in. So I remember I was like the first dude in there, and I wrote my name down. And it got 6th, and then I was like, and I remember I was doing the math because I was like, because Mon had just had our son. I was like, I should get home.
Yeah.
And I was doing the math on like 5 minutes times 6.
Yeah, that's.
I was like, I'm gonna be out of here. I'll probably be out of here 45 to an hour. Okay, cool. And then but to your point, I mean the comics that have been around for 6 years, surely they should be able to walk in and get the stage time. It's meritocracy, really.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you have material, you should get the stage time.
Yeah.
As opposed, and it's about what sells beer, really, as well, isn't it?
What sells beer, yeah. Because the thing is, comics just like for that. I guess sellers, this is amazing because like they sell. Their sales are so high because of just comics, because they just love sticking around, hanging out. It's like a good place to even hang out, like as comics. So even if people are not coming in, comics are buying beer.
The hang was cool.
Yeah, just like sit outside, talk for like until whenever the bar closes, and it's. I mean, it's great business, and of course, it's helping comedians as well. And it's like you gotta respect the guy who's running that room, and just giving people like Melbourne, like ever since the Rubber Chicken closed down, Melbourne did lose a couple of open mics, so we are kind of short on open mics, which is why there's few comedians who are still going out looking around for venues where they can start open mics, because people need to just come, sign up, and perform. Like you can't, because getting booked is not always easy for like newer comedians, obviously.
I'm under the impression it's just not going to happen. It's like you're not going to get booked when you don't have any credibility. You know what I mean?
Someone or whoever runs the room needs to see you kind of kill in some or even partially kill. They need to see that you have potential, and then they will let you get on. So the only way you do that is by going out a lot. You got to keep going out. You got to keep hitting the mics and keep improving. Like, that's another big thing. You can't keep repeating yourself. If you know something's not working, you need to go home and then work on it. So in a way, you need to find the right balance between you doing your work, you doing your homework, I guess, you're working on your material, and then you going out and then testing it.
How do you practice? What's your process?
My process, like the writing process, or the
like literally, like, so let's say you've got, I'm trying to think. So obviously you have your material. Yeah. But let's say you were sick of that material. Yeah. You wanted to kill your babies and you wanted to start again. What's your process?
If I have a material, if I have a bit that works, and I know there's nothing else I can do to it, I'm just going to keep it aside. But if I have a joke that works, then what I try to do is see if I can somehow elongate it. Like, if I can, because context switching too much is also not a good thing when you're doing comedy. Like, if you're sticking to one subject and you're making people laugh just talking about that one topic, people are already getting accustomed to what you're talking about, and then it's just easier for them to follow the trail of the events that you're describing, right? So that's what I like to do. I like to start with something, start very small, because again, if I write too much and I go out there and I do 5 minutes on something and it just completely bombs, it's not good. So I like to start small, like maybe 1 or 2 jokes about something, and if they are good, then I will try to add on to it, so I make it like a 3-minute bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so like writing that way is definitely helpful for me, because I'm the kind of guy who likes telling stories.
So you sort of write on stage?
I wouldn't say, I mean, I like to improvise. So if I am, telling my joke on stage, but like if I see an opportunity on stage, I will take it.
Sure.
I'm not afraid to, I'm not afraid to test whether this will work or not. I'm like, if it bombs, it's fine. I need to do it to see if there's anything there, and I always at least audio record my sets. So on my train ride home, when I'm going back, I always like to listen to it and write down notes, because reflection is very important.
Yep.
Like, if you're not reflecting as a comedian, there's a big problem.
Yep.
Yeah, especially if, like, I'm more tempted to listen to my bad sets than my good sets.
Interesting.
Because bad sets is where you know why it did not work. Like, was it though? Because I like to when it's new to you, you can write a little bit about the atmosphere in the room. You can write about, like, okay, what was the audience like? Were people just too drunk? Like, you can just add like a bit of notes to have a bit of context, like if you ever stumble upon it, like in the future, like when you are going back and thinking, oh, I did that because I did that once, but it didn't work, but maybe it was the night, maybe I should just take some of that and maybe amend it and try like a different version of it. So reflection is something I take more seriously than even the writing or the comedy.
Yep. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So how come what happened with you? See, because I saw you one time at the Cellars.
That's all I've done.
Why did you not come back? Why?
Yeah, it's a good question. Number one, I'm terrified to go back. If I'm being really honest with you, I need to. It's something that I wanted to do, but I actually think I have a bit of PTSD about it. You know what I mean? Like, it was. So I went up
Yeah, tell me about your first experience. Like, exactly how like were you before the set? Were you nervous?
I can tell you everything about it. Yeah, I was definitely nervous. I was definitely nervous. So this is something I've wanted to do for a really long time, and then I had decided that I was actually going to do it. And this is very unlike me. So anyone who knows me knows that I'm pretty happy to take risk. I don't care. I'll jump in, and I don't really care about the consequences, whether it be business, asking out a girl, anything like that. I really don't care. But for whatever reason, this one is terrifying. I think it's because it's something you can't really practice. You have to practice on stage. You can practice at home, but it's so much different. And to that point, I literally stood here. So what I did, I wrote material for 2 months, let's say, and I picked jokes that I liked, and then I stood right here, and I got a bike pump, and I used it as a microphone, and I just practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced until I could remember the material, and I knew my set. And then I listened to my set while I gardened, because at the moment what I do while I work, I listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll listen to my material. So I knew that material. I knew it, and I went up and I did it, and I had my little opening joke about. So the opening joke was, this is kind of cool. I've been stuck at home for the last month because I've just become a dad. Usually I'm covered in shit, but tonight I'm not. Although walking through St Kilda on the way over here kind of felt like business as usual. Yeah. And I got a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
And I just...
That's a good start.
And I went,
yeah.
But I freaked out. I don't know why. Oh. It's counter to what you would assume, yeah?
You think freaked out to the laughter.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what you were expecting.
So it should be fuel. Yeah. But I think I was expecting to bomb. I was going up there, I was like, no one's going to laugh. This is going to be awkward. And then it fucked with my head because I didn't really expect that anyone was going to laugh. And what happened? So what actually happened was I actually had an out-of-body experience. And I could see myself behind myself. I could just see my outline with the light shining because it's bright up there.
Oh yeah, it is bright up there.
It's bright in here, but it's bright up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and I sort of had a couple of seconds where I went, "Oh fuck, I forgot my material," and I was like, and there was just silence.
Oh, so you...
And it was awkward.
Because
then I did save it, and I just said, look, guys, I'm really sorry. It's actually my first time up. And I grabbed my phone, checked my notes. I went, that's the joke. And I did the rest of the material. And it got some laughs. I didn't kill, but it got some laughs. And I was like, that was actually probably, apart from the forgetting, that was probably the best first time I could have had. But, so the 3 reasons I haven't gone back is, number 1, it's terrifying. And I'm going to force myself to go back probably at the end of this month. And number 2, it's really hard to get out of the house when you got a little kid.
Yeah.
And also, I live in Frankston.
Which
and all the mics are an hour away.
Yeah.
So you gotta get out. It's a whole night.
Yeah.
It's not you can't just escape, go and do 2 hours and come back.
Yeah.
It's 4 or 5 hours.
Well, for your third point, I know a couple of comedians who live here in Frankston, and I was pretty much trying to
get them to do a room.
Yeah, get them to do just
That's
carpool.
What you said to me too. Oh,
I said that to you. Yeah, so pretty much like you, if you, either you can start a room here. I mean, there's a couple of rooms here in Frankston, but yeah. But they are more like
I think they're all gone.
Ones.
Yeah, so Humdinger's
back. Yeah, but it's booked.
Hotel Lona was an open mic, but that's now gone. That doesn't exist anymore.
Hotel Lona was also like when I started comedy. Caleb Harlan was the guy who was running it. It was still booked. It wasn't open mic.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, when I started, maybe before me, it was open mic. But when I started, it was booked. I never did that one.
Yep.
But yeah, the Humdinger Gig is exceptionally like they are very, very friendly.
I've been a lot.
It's like great. Oh, so you actually go there.
I've been as a patron.
People are amazing.
Yeah.
People are amazing here.
Yeah.
And
it's that homeless guy that sits in the front.
Yeah, there's that homeless guy on the couch.
He starts the laughter every time.
True, yeah. He's you would think he's a bit intimidating, but he's there and he's your biggest supporter somehow.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a good gig. But yeah, like when you have a few people and then you have like it's like you're being forced to come into the city to do comedy. Right, like it's good to have that like kind of group where then you are like, all right, so we are leaving at this time, and then 3 or 4 people just like carpool, come into the city, do your gig, and then come back together, and then you also have like time to discuss. So I feel like having a little bit of network like within the comics community.
It's a lonely drive for an hour.
Especially if you bombed. Especially that's what the guys tell me. Especially if you bombed. It's just like home. I just wanna drive into.
You're just driving the whole way home, looking at the beach out your right window, going, "What if I just fucking?"
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
this would be the right time to do it.
Yes,
because it's not a good feeling.
Yeah. No, I need to do it, and if anything, just to get over the PTSD. Oh, you're sending me open mics, are you? What's this? Capel sound bar. Capel sound, is that, but is that music? Or is it comedy? Because I reckon that's music. Because I've fallen into that trap before where I'm like, oh, there's an open...
Yeah. You see a lot of open mics and you're like... By the way, for music, there's like at least one open mic every day. For music, it's great. Because here's the thing about music. You can't really offend people that easily.
Music.
Yeah.
Sorry. My brother is doubling as our producer today by sitting there drinking beer with headphones on,
that's
looking
right.
like Charlie fucking Sheen. And he sent me a text, and I assume he was saying like, oh, your like microphone's fucked or something like that. And he's sending me piano and poetry open mics.
Poetry open
You moron. Anyway. No, that's cool. What was your first time like?
My first time was horrible because, I mean, at my first time, but here's the thing, expectations. You got to manage your expectations. First time when
I fucked that up, didn't I?
No, but dude, that's why I was about to cut you in, but you were speaking. The fact that you had no expectations of getting a laugh is exactly the right way to go about it. And about anything in life, because when you expect is when you get heartbroken. When you expect, oh, this girl should message me back, that's when you get heartbroken because she's not gonna message you back. So in life, that's like the basic rule that I like to very religiously follow. Like when I go up on stage and if I have a new bit, I am not expecting a laugh. So when I do get it, it's amazing because I wasn't even expecting it. It was good. So that is something I try to instill in my life like a lot and in my comedy too. So my first gig, I had just two objectives. The first one was I wanted to see if I can remember...
Oh, I thought you were going to say rip the Band-Aid off.
Rip the Band-Aid.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, my first objective was to make sure that... To see if I can remember my 5 minutes. If I didn't have to look at my phone for 5 minutes, I won that night. I don't care about laughs at all. And, so that was my first objective for the night. The second one was... being confident on stage. Like it's not something that you can measure, but you can tell whether you can tell depending on how much you're umming or ahhing or just stuttering, because that all it just happens when you because I did my first gig at Rubber Chicken and the light there is way brighter than Sellers. The light is so bright in your face you cannot see anyone in the audience. At all. So because I had, and again, I bombed hard. First time, bombed very hard.
So no laughs?
Literally one chuckle, and I think the guy probably did it because he felt bad for me. He felt bad.
It may have been me because I can't stand watching, like, when you go to an open mic and it's awkward. I laugh. Awkward. I laugh for them. You know what I mean?
It was very awkward because, and I'm not going to blame the audience at all. The problem was with me because I did not know that you couldn't write material like that. My first time material was very dark. It was very dark. It was so dark at an open mic, and I didn't even know that was a problem.
Okay.
That's how stupid I was, because I have never been to an open mic. I remember bits of it. It was all about like
Do you remember the premise?
Yeah, I remember the premise. It was the whole, because I wrote 5 minutes on one thing.
Sure.
That's what I did. It was a very bold move to write 5 minutes on one thing and just go out there. But I had like funny in there. I knew where I was expecting laugh, but again, I was still going out with no expectation. But I wrote my material in a way where I would at least get some laughs. But it was about the illegality of women teachers sleeping with the younger schoolboys, because we wanted to. Like, it was a bit about that. So it was just because I'm like, I get it when if a male teacher does it to her,
that's fair game. But Rogan has a bit on that.
Yeah, like, but again, these guys are experienced comedians. I'm doing my first ever open mic. It's not a great idea to start with with the sentence like, why is grooming illegal? Like, that's pretty much how I started.
Sure.
Yeah, why is grooming illegal? That's
Yep.
exactly how I started. Like, I can never forget that. And people were like, oh, okay,
Yep.
I guess explain yourself. So I
Yep.
started explaining myself, and boy, that was not a good explanation.
Yep.
Neither a good justification. And yeah, it was I bombed. But again, yeah, because I knew what I was set out to achieve that night, and I got it. So I'm like, I go home, I'm mortified, and second time around, I started off easy. I still wanted to try and make that grooming thing work. So I was like, okay, I'm still gonna try it. I'm gonna give it one more shot.
It, did you?
Pretty much. I was like, I need to make that work. But again, I'm still very new. I didn't know how. So I started off with like a simpler joke, and then I got a laugh, and then I'm like, I get into it. But again, second half I bombed, like around my second gig. So that's how I slowly started, and then I really started studying other comedians because I kept going out a lot more, and then I started studying them. I'm like, okay, what are they talking about? What are the topics they're refraining from?
Yeah.
Is it pretty much just to study the crowd in Melbourne. And then that's the thing, because when you do a lot of gigs, you find out that there's certain rooms where you can say certain stuff, but other rooms you gotta clean up your act.
I signed up for one in Northcote, and they were like, don't do any anti-trans, don't do any anti-gay, and I was like, oh, this is like...
Oh, it's pretty much they gave you with like a list of pointers, like
you
just
can't talk about this, you can't talk
about
about this, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about this. And I remember thinking like, I don't know much about comedy, but surely the idea is like, you can do whatever you want.
Comedy. Here's the thing about comedy. I've realized is that you can joke about whatever you like. And look, like people say that if you are, because people get offended, obviously, and people say if you are easily offended, stay at home. Don't come to a comedy show. That is partially true, but what I would say is for comedians, if you do want to go and talk about a topic that is controversial, you should try and write it in a clever way.
Yeah.
Because it's all about writing. If your writing is clever, you can make people laugh on a trans joke.
Yep.
Without really hurting their feelings. Like, so it's all about you trying to, like, it's you becoming better as a writer and as an artist.
I feel like the way of, and I could be wrong, but I feel like the way of selling a joke like that in a tough room is about getting the audience to fill the punchline, so they came up with it. Does that make sense?
I thought you were pretty much saying getting the audience on your side first, and then trying a joke like that.
Too. Yeah.
But look, if the audience have already guessed the punchline, it's not really a good joke.
No, no. Yes. No, you're right. I heard someone say something like this a while ago. It was probably on Rogan, and I think they said it a little bit differently. I think I'm not explaining it very well, so I'm just going to leave it alone.
The whole point of jokes is that the joke is there, but you can't see it coming.
Yes.
Like everything should be in the premise, and then your punchline should be like the revelation.
It's kind of like a sleight of hand trick.
Sleight of hand trick, yeah.
Yep.
That's comedy.
Yeah.
And that's
like
good
looking over here, but it's
and
like
doing something else over there. Yeah, movies do that too. Like
Yep.
good written movies, they always do that, where they set up in the setup, they're all focusing on one thing, but they throw like a little detail in there that's like useful for the ending, and then when they reveal it, it's like, oh, how did that happen?
Yep.
So it's just like and again, look, when you're young, obviously you're just stepping into the game, so you don't know it that well, but as you do more and more writing, you learn the art and you get better. Definitely. Yeah.
So back to the hour drive. Takes you an hour to get to St Kilda as well.
No.
Well, that's what it says there.
It does.
Takes you an hour to get to St Kilda. So what am I bitching about?
Yeah, I do it. I do it every Friday.
Yeah, right. So how often are you going up?
I am going up 3 to 4 times a week.
So you're not doing it is there one in Sunshine, is there?
No, there's not one in Sunshine. There used to be one in Sunshine. They don't run it anymore. There's a couple in Footscray.
I was going to say, surely there's something in Footscray.
There's a couple in Footscray, but usually, so I mainly go...
I've never heard of that suburb.
Sellers, I go to Collingwood. There's Dirty Secrets there.
Yep.
You go there.
Oh, is that the Gong Show?
Gong Show is the best, bro. Gong Show is like immediate validation, because if people don't like you, spoons up. You get the fuck out of...
That's,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's like fucking Kill Tony.
That's Kill Tony. Yep. And then the judges... I mean, the judges, they lately.
Actually, it's nothing like Kill Tony. Because Kill Tony, it's 1 minute and you're not allowed to talk. No, the audience aren't allowed to say, yeah, we're good to go, we're back. Yeah, I don't know how much we lost there, but you were just talking about the Gong Show.
Yeah, I was talking about the Gong Show.
So you do the Gong Show, and where's that?
That's in Collingwood. It's Dirty Secrets. There's a bar called Dirty Secrets, and they do like a lot of shows there. And then Gong Show is the show where it's like an open mic, so you can just go sign up and start performing. And in a way, the Gong Show is not that bad. I like the idea because if people can't even stand to look at you because of your whole demeanor, or like it's just something about you that bugs them. Yeah. I would rather have you out. Like, there's no point you doing a 5-minute set and just wasting everybody's time.
Yep.
Like, there's something you need to change about your act, whether it's the way you speak, whether it's your likability as a person. Because as a comedian, you got to be likable. You can not be funny, but you have to be likable. People at least would want to listen to you. Because if they don't even want to listen to you, you're fucked.
Yep.
You're fucked. He doesn't want to listen to you.
Do you have no matter how funny? Do you know WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah, you understand the principle of like the heel?
The heel.
So the bad guy.
The bad guy.
WWE, you've got like good guys and bad guys. You can't be a heel in comedy?
In comedy,
I'm not like going you. I'm like literally like I wonder if you can you not?
Yeah.
You can't be a bad guy? There aren't bastards. What about like Ricky Gervais?
Ricky Gervais isn't I wouldn't say he's a bad guy. Ricky Gervais is a great comedian.
He's definitely, but he goes up and tells cancer jokes.
Yeah, but that's not a bad guy. That's just he's more artistic.
So I suppose to your point, he is likable. You're absolutely right.
Likable, yeah, because comedians comedians say offensive things, but at the same time be likable.
Trying to think, are there any non-likable comedians?
They're not like you will never see because they will not make their way to the top. If people just can't, because there's like I take my friends to comedy a lot, and there's some comedians out there my friends can't even stand to look at them.
I think you're right.
They can't even, because they don't even want to hear another word. Like when these comedians come up, my friends, they just look down. They're like, I just don't even want to make eye contact with this guy.
Yeah, right.
He's just that bad. Like I just don't like, not even his comedy. It's just him as a person.
Yep.
Sometimes you just hate someone as a person.
Yeah, I get you.
Right?
Yep.
I've been around enough women to know that some people can just hate you as a person.
Oh fuck! I thought you were saying you don't like women.
No, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. Yeah, and so being like, at least if you are going out to comedy, I would legit suggest you work on your likability first.
Yes.
Listen to yourself speak, like record, like if you're practicing your set at home, record yourself.
Yep.
Watch one of the comedians you like and then watch yourself.
Yep.
See if you would want to listen to that guy. Right?
That's good. That's really good. I like that.
See, if you want to listen to that guy, because you are pretty much watching him as an audience as well. When you're watching yourself do like a 5 minutes, I always do that. And this, trust me, this even after 6 months, there's so much I want to fix about myself.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm very likable still.
Yeah.
Like there's so much I can do to improve that. And it's a constant struggle. It's like that's why I keep saying like reflection is the biggest.
Yep.
You watching your own material as an audience will give you more of an idea than other people coming up to you and telling you, hey, you were great. Because people generally tend to be nice. People are generally nice to you.
100%. Everyone after my set said to me, oh, that was great. And I was literally like, I don't believe you.
See?
Yeah.
But that's
what else are you going to say? Well, that was fucking shit.
Look, because comedians are very big. Comedians are good at criticizing themselves, which is important.
Yeah.
Like I think you really like. Of course, you want some good gigs. You don't always want to bomb and tell yourself that you're shit. You do want to have good gig for more of like a confidence and a morale booster. But if people keep telling you you are good, you're not gonna go home and work harder. Like I was watching the movie Whiplash.
Yep. And
Whiplash, there's that quote that always sticks with me because it's the best quote I've ever heard. Have you seen the movie Whiplash?
No.
It's the movie about the drumming. That movie won like an Oscar or something.
Okay.
It's a great movie.
Yep.
Great movie. If you haven't watched it, watch it tonight.
Yep.
Watch it tonight. It's a great movie. And so the guy is a drummer and he's got a coach. And the drummer is very harsh, just very arrogant. He just does not like anyone. If you are even slightly off rhythm, he will call you out, and he will give you the hardest of times. Like, that's what the movie's about. Like, the guy is a good drummer, the student, but the teacher is just not happy. Like, he's just not giving him that satisfaction of knowing that he's good. And then later in life, like in the movie, the guy says to him, they're talking about some other drummer who was really big, and that's because he had a very bad set. Like, he was just fully tortured at this gig. He had a really bad gig, and he went home and worked hard. So the quote that I remember from the movie is that he says, there's no two more dangerous words in English language than good job.
It's true.
When you tell someone you did a good job, you go home happy and you feel content.
Yep.
And that's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, you do want that sometimes, but
not all the time.
Yeah, not all the time. That's why I like. And by the way, my friends have no filter. That's why I always bring my friends around to comedy gigs. Because even if other comedians are nice to me because they don't know me, my friends are never going to say I was good just because they're my friends. If anything, they're more brutally honest to me. They're like, you were garbage.
I've got a guy like that. So he's actually the guy, his name's Milo, and he's the guy that hooked me up with all this stuff. So I was running a fucking terrible setup. It was Kmart microphones plugged into 3 different laptops, and it's just shit. And I was talking to him about the podcast, and he said to me, you need to do all this sort of stuff. Anyway, I digress. I showed him the set, and everyone had said to me, oh, that was great, that was great, that was great.
Yeah.
And and I thought he was going to say it's great. And he goes, well, there's only one thing that can really be said. And I thought he was sort of setting up to say that was great. He goes, that sucked. I was like,
That sucked.
oh. And he's like, yeah, that sucked. You sound like a woman. You sound like a woman up there complaining. Is exactly
Really?
what he said to me. He's like, I know you. You're not like that. I know your podcast. You're not like that. He said, you came at it with a very feminine energy.
So are you saying he was suggesting that you were not being yourself?
Correct.
Okay. Now that's like a big no-no in comedy.
Correct.
Because look, you can only act out, like, you can only pretend to be someone else for so long. Like, it's you just can't keep that up. Like, that's the thing in, like, you need to be yourself. Like, if you are just pretending to be someone else just to get like a few more likes, I feel like it's not sustainable.
Yes.
So in comedy, like, when I go up on stage, I really try to be myself.
Yep.
Like, and then you find out, okay, how can I make this likable then? Because the you doesn't really have to be like your persona may not be likable today, but if you work on it, you will get there. You know, everyone has a way. Like, and here's the thing. Look, no matter what you do, like, comedy is a business where half the people will like you and half the people won't like you.
Correct.
You are, and if that bothers you, if you're the kind of person who likes everybody's attention and affection, then you're in the wrong business.
Yep.
Because there's people who are not going to agree with or won't like what you're saying, and there's people who will like you. It's like politicians. Comedians are a lot like politicians.
Yep.
So yeah, like, that's why you just go out there, and that's why I say, like, you joke about whatever it is you want to talk about, because as soon as you watch other people talk about something that you may not have much of an idea, or you don't even have like an opinion on it, but you know that that's probably what I need to talk about to get laughs. Again, that's a very wrong direction you are headed in. You really shouldn't be going in that direction, because you should just talk about what you want to talk about and then make it funny. Like, it's just very simple. Like, and trust me, it's not rocket science. It's just comedy, and yeah.
Why do you do it?
Oh, because I love making people laugh. I have loved it since I was a young boy. I've liked when I'm in a setting where I'm with my friends, when I'm in a setting where I'm with my family, and I say something which makes people laugh. Nothing makes me feel more satisfied than that. And stand-up comedy, because these are a group of strangers, and then to see them laugh at something that you wrote is twice as funny, because these people don't even know you. They have no reason to laugh at your material.
Yep.
But they are, because you did a good job writing. So it's just, I do it for the satisfaction.
Yeah.
The satisfaction is immense. Like, there's nothing that can top it for me.
I've heard Joe Rogan say before on his pod. Do you want one of these?
I am good for now.
Yeah, okay.
Drink my water for now.
I've heard Rogan say on his podcast that he feels sad for people that never get to kill. Not even once. Comics that go up for 10 years and they just do average.
Are there actually people out there? I feel like everybody kills at some point. How I mean, you can't be that bad that you never killed.
Have you heard the story about Joey Diaz? You know Joey
Diaz, yeah.
So Joey Diaz used to stand at the... Sorry, Mum, stop listening. Joey Diaz used to stand out the back of the Comedy Cellar. And... That was important, wasn't it? This is good for podcasting. My brother's just walked around to put...
He's talking it up for you, you know, so you don't have to move, yeah.
Joey used to stand out the back, and there was this one woman that would never get any laughs, and every time she hit her punchline, he'd open up the curtains, and he'd be completely naked. And they'd all laugh.
They would all laugh at Joey Diaz.
And that is funny. Yeah, and she came off the stage, and she felt electric, and she's like, I've been going up for 9 years, nobody's ever laughed, and they find, like, something happened, it's my night. Yeah, it's because Joey Diaz's balls are out.
Yeah, exactly. How can you not laugh at that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's look, if that's why it's important to have those real friends around you to tell you that, look, man, you're not funny. You got to change something about you. Because you are going out there, you're bombing. I don't know how you're still coming home every day. Like, you should have killed yourself by now. You know, like, you need those kind of people because, look, they say, like, fat shaming is bad. But, look, I'm not going to say I was fat, but I was, like, 80 kilos and, like, again, double chin, not looking good. But my friends...
What do you weigh now?
I weigh 63.
Okay.
I lost a little ton of weight.
You're a little dude, though.
I'm a little dude, yeah.
I weigh 86.
No, but you don't look like... like...
Oh, show you I
was fat in a very bad way. Like, when your double chin is showing... Like, when your double chin is hiding your neck, that's a bad fat.
Have you got a picture?
I've
got one.
I've got, like, I don't know. It's just, it looks bad.
I've got one. So I used to be 100 and...
Oh, really?
20 kilos.
Oh, you lost a lot of weight as well.
Oh, yeah, man. I was fucking
But see, guys, this is where guys are lucky, because even if they have a double chin, they can grow a beard.
Correct.
But women don't have that. I mean, some women can grow a beard, but not all of them.
Only the talented ones.
Only the talented ones.
Yeah. Here you go.
You gotta zoom. Yeah, okay, I can see the tummy. I can see the tummy.
How do you zoom in?
Maybe...
Alt? No, Command. Yeah, can you zoom in? Thanks.
There you go.
Look at that. Zoom up. Like, go up as well,
Yep.
like the face and...
Yeah, let me see the face, because you don't even have a beard in that picture.
No. To be fair, I don't have one here either. This is Billy Goat's graph.
You look older in that photo than you do right now.
Probably
I would say.
Chronologically older.
Yeah.
I look like a fucking garden gnome. Look at me.
No, but yeah, that's the thing. I feel like a little bit of fat shaming is not bad because it makes you like,
That's why
especially
I lost the weight.
because you can't always just walk around society just thinking, oh, there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
That is a very wrong way, bad way to live your life. Like where you think you're just perfect. You're not. You'll never, like Louis C.K. said this thing, which again, like that's another thing I love about comedy is like you hear something, it's not necessarily funny, but like it's just something that sticks with you. And Louis said, self-love is good, but self-awareness is more important.
Yep.
Very important.
Yep.
Like
agreed.
Yeah, and if you are not self-aware, you need people to tell you, and that's why they have the the intervention.
Yes.
Where people gather around and tell you there's something wrong with you, because you don't get to say, oh, you can't, because when so many people are collectively telling you that there's something wrong, there is something wrong. Right, so I kind of like that culture where people would help each other get better, because again, like just because and all the people who say, oh, I mean, in a way, fat people are happy. I was gonna say fat people are not happy. Fat people are actually more happy than the freaking shredded people, because
can you imagine how happy they'd be if they put the fucking fork down? Anyway, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like, it's just health is something I feel that you should look after, because if you are not healthy, you can't really enjoy everything in life. Like, you know, like this is like an old thing that a lot of people have said this. I'm not really coming up with it, but they say even if you have like $10 million tomorrow, but if I tell you you only have one day to live, you're not gonna take it. gonna be like, yeah, if that's the condition, I would rather live my life and then make whatever money I can.
Correct.
So again, money is not as important as health.
Yep.
Right? And then there's other things like families. Like if you were told that if I give you $10 million, but none of your family will be around anymore, they all die, then you'll be like, I don't know. Ah, so in that case, Josh.
Yes.
Josh has done some stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, so there's more. So yeah, it's important to have people who are honest to you. You shouldn't really cut ties with someone just because they are brutally honest. These people are just as necessary in your life than as people who tell you that you are doing a great job. You need a balance. You need a good balance of both, right?
Absolutely.
In life, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I yeah. To your point, I really don't like it when people they just tell you to do a fantastic job.
It's just too easy. Then
I don't believe it.
There's no
believe it.
Yeah.
And if it's thematic and they always say, "Oh, that was great, that was great, that was great, that was great," like, thanks, mum.
Yeah, and if you are so great, if everyone's telling you you're so great, how come you're not selling out arenas right now?
Correct.
If you're such a great comedian,
not even in comedy, like anything.
Yeah, in anything, exactly. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Anything. Yeah. So
yeah,
who's your inspiration?
Bro, Louis C.K. Louis motherfucking C.K.
Yep.
He's the best comedian I've seen in my life. I knew the exact moment when I knew I wanted to be a stand-up comedian is when I heard Louis C.K.'s 9/11 joke. Have you heard Louis C.K.'s 9/11 joke?
No, let's pull it up, Jamie.
It's I was 19 years old, and when I heard this joke, I was like, if I can do this comedy and make people laugh and make money doing this, I will be the happiest person in the world.
Do you know which one it is?
It's you may not find yeah, is that the 9/11 joke? Yeah, that is the one. Is it the 5 minute in Chewed Up? Not the Chewed Up, not this one. This is a newer special. He said it before in that one, 9/11. Yeah.
Because I need to come. I need to. Coming is a need. I came the first time when I was 12, and I haven't skipped a day. I come every day, and I've fucked maybe 20 times in my life. So it's just been me doing most of the work. And I really, I jerk off way too much, and it upsets me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's so selfish. I don't know what it is, but I know it's bad. I know I'm hurting somebody somewhere. There's something wrong with it. Like, I was thinking the other day that you can figure out how bad a person you are by how soon after September 11th you masturbated, like how long you waited. And for me, it was between the two buildings going down, so I had to deal with it.
That's a joke. That's my favorite joke.
That's good. That's good.
That's
like
my favorite
that.
joke.
Yeah.
I tell everyone that that's my favorite joke.
You can't not have surprise in that joke.
It was between the two buildings going down. It's the best joke. And
That's
then,
good.
I was like, so yeah, I've been wanting to do comedy for a long time, but I was always putting it off because, again, I was just trying to settle myself into this country. And when and then COVID happened. COVID was, again, unfortunate, which kind of put me in the back seat for a bit because I'm like, fuck, now it's COVID. So how am I gonna do comedy now? But after COVID, another year went past, and I'm like, look, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So I just one day I was like, just started calling, started researching all the open mics, started calling, like, hey, can I come down? And then since I started, I haven't stopped, and I don't intend on stopping at all. Yeah.
And you go up 4 nights a week.
I try to, yeah. So here's the thing about comedy in Melbourne, at least. Like, if you want to get more gigs, you got to start your own room. Because when you start booking people, they start booking you. So when you have your own room...
When you start booking people...
Yeah, because if you run your own room, you book people.
Yep.
Like, you message me, hey, can I get up in your room? And I'll be like, yeah, come down on 22nd or whatever. I'm booking you.
Yep.
So if you are running another, if you're running another room,
it's a I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine sort of.
Pretty much.
So that's how it works. I've just never heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
unless you are like unless you're a comedian with like a big social media following, like they kind of need you, they'll get you on.
Yep.
But if you're starting out and if you're not doing some of this like, I wouldn't call it the dirty work, but in a way it is dirty work, just like the grinding phase, as you call it.
Do you run a room?
I will be starting to run a room soon. Like I'm in talks with a couple of people. So yeah, but when I have it, like it will be.
What if you do it as a podcast? It's a room and a podcast.
It's a room and
a
podcast.
Like Kill Tony. That's what Kill Tony is. Not gonna work.
That may work. Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea.
Yeah.
That would be great. Like bringing people on, and because it's like more of an interaction then. Because the comedian, if the comedian really bombed, and when judges roast them, it's a good show for the audience. That's why I like Gong Show. Gong Show is horrific for comedians, but great for audience. Audience go to the Gong Show and they are like, "Oh, at least he's getting his,"
Well, like people like to watch people suffer. That's why, like.
Right.
Did you ever, you know who Bert Kreischer is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to have a show called Hurt Bert, yeah? Mm-hmm. Well, it was just him getting, like, eaten by fucking crocodiles and shit like that. Like, it was him suffering. People like to watch people suffer.
Yeah.
We're fucked, aren't we?
Yeah,
like,
we are
sadistic.
Fucked. That's why that's why stand-up comedy is self-deprecating. Because if you go up on stage and talk about how you earned $10 million, it's not funny.
Yeah.
But if you joke about how you lost $10 million, it's automatically funny. How did he lose $10 million? What did he do to lose $10 million? It's just like, so comedy, self-deprecating is just like because of human nature. Like comedians don't want to do it necessarily, but that's what gets laughs. So how are you not going to do it?
Yep.
You know, you can't go on stage and talk about your 7-inch penis, but as soon as you have a 3-inch penis, there you go. You're a funny guy.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
A funny guy who never gets laid.
Yes.
But you get a laugh, which is better than getting laid. No.
Yep. Have you seen any of the new guys coming up in that sort of Rogan verse? Theo Vaughn, Shane Gillis, Mark Norman.
They are great, yes. I've been keeping an eye. Obviously, America is the mecca for comedy.
Absolutely.
Like, America is where you want to be if you intend. Because here's the thing. You never see, like, a global Australian comedian.
No.
Name one comedian from Australia that's global.
Maybe
Jim Jeffries.
Yeah, Jim Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries, but again, he moved to America.
Is Carl Barron...
I wouldn't say
he's not that big, is he?
He's not global. Like
Jim
if he goes
Jeffries
to Cambodia, people don't know who.
Yep.
People don't know who Carl Barron is.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. He goes anywhere in the world.
Why? Why are there no Aussie comics?
Because
worldwide.
What do you
think? Do you think? Do you know the answer?
I know the answer. I'm kind of afraid. No. That's the thing, because Australia is a very woke PC world. It's really geared towards becoming this PC woke.
Yeah.
I'm not saying none of these big comedians in Australia are not funny. Obviously, they're funny.
Yep.
They're funny, but they are catering to a specific kind of audience.
Sure.
You can't really be global if you are just trying to satisfy like a portion of the audience. And you need to talk about issues that are global.
Yeah.
Because Carl Barron talks about being Australian a lot. Like being like my daddy said, my dad used to be saying, and then my mom used to say that. Yeah. It's very Aussie, and Australian people love him. They love him. But how are people from India going to relate to him? They don't know what living in Australia is like.
True.
But when Louis comes out and talks about COVID, let's say, he's got like or even pedophilia.
Yep.
Especially pedophilia, Indians can relate with. No, but because Louis in his special story had a 7-minute bit on pedophilia, which is bomb. It's absolute killer. Everyone can relate to it.
Yep.
It's the way you structure your material.
Yep.
It's the movies as well. Why is Friends global? Because it's relatable everywhere in a way. Because they're not really talking about a very American specific. It's just about being friends.
Sure.
Who doesn't know what's it like to be friends unless you are fucking a ginger or whatever.
A ginger.
Yeah. Like I think I can say it because
No, that's good.
Yeah, so it's about relatability.
Yep.
So it's about your choice of topic. So all these big comedians like Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, they are masters of choosing topics that people around the world can relate to. Whereas people in Australian comedy, I haven't really seen them, like, because again, a lot of people are even afraid to talk about the transgender stuff. But Dave Chappelle comes out and he's got a new special coming out, and I'm 100% I guarantee you he's got at least one bit about transgender. He cannot have a bit about transgender after all he's been through.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying necessarily say bad things, but address it.
Yep.
Address it. And that's why I feel Australian comedians are not as global as, and it's also the population. I guess in America, like, the population is like 400 million or whatever.
Yep.
Like, there's so many people. Yeah, it's a bigger market compared to Australia. Australia is only like 30 million.
Australia is a smaller market.
Australia is a smaller market. Yeah,
less. 22 million.
I think
25.
25. Okay, yeah. So again, with that many people.
Thanks, Jamie.
With that many people, you can't really expect to go global because you're just trying to satisfy this 25 million. But in America, is this like so much, and if people like you, they like it's just wholly like America again. It's just they have more. I wouldn't say opportunities, but like a much bigger platform to reach a global audience than Australia can at the moment.
Yep.
That's why those comedians are so big. And is it raining?
Yeah, it's raining. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
It is good, isn't it?
Raining, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Who's your favorite comedian? Who's your inspiration?
Ooh, at the moment, I wouldn't say inspiration, but I'm really liking Shane Gillis.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's new.
He's great.
He's got an interesting story. Have you heard much of his story? Got fired from SNL.
I wouldn't say. I don't know much about the story, but I know his stand up. Okay, yeah, that bit I didn't know. He was fired from SNL. Well, what did he do?
He got on nothing. So he got hired and fired the same week because he got hired. They announced on Twitter that he was the new cast member is Shane Gillis. And then Twitter went to work and they were like, look at him saying the N-word. Look at him calling out trans people. Look at him being anti-gay. And like fucking social media exploded. Someone just sat there and watched everything he'd ever put on YouTube. And he'd put he'd just done a lot of podcasts. And like podcasts are like, you just fucking, especially someone like him, he'll sit there and have 17 BLs.
Yeah.
And fucking Bud Lights and just talk. I mean, I've done that.
Yeah.
I had 17 beers a couple of podcasts ago.
True.
And we just talk shit.
Especially when you're sitting with your mates, no one's really there to stop you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you talk a lot of shit. Like, okay,
correct.
But yeah, that's where you have to...
And he got cancelled.
Yeah, it's like the same Kevin Hart thing all over again. Freaking...
What did he say? Did he say anti-gay or something?
Yeah, so he said he had a joke. He's made some homophobic jokes. 10 years, like when he was new into comedy.
Yeah.
Of course, he's just trying to get a laugh. And for that to fire him from Oscars.
Yep.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
It's just, look, and that's the thing about people. And that's why we need more people like freaking Joe Rogan. People and Elon Musk, because these are the kind of people, and even politicians are calling out on that, because in America they have the elections going on, and they have the debates, and they are like, this doesn't need, because, and it's hosted by, it's like a Republican debate hosted by a Democratic news station.
Sure.
So again, their questions are very specific, and they have an agenda. They have an agenda.
It's worse than hosting. Hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sit down. We're going to record it. And then you're going to leave us with the tapes. And then we'll put it out.
And then we'll
tell the story.
Exactly. Journalism, bro. Journalism, again, it's so influential. Yeah. It has got so much power to brainwash people, to portray a picture about someone.
Yep.
Journalism, when not done right or given too much, that's why they have like some law around that as well, that one guy or one entity can't own more than one news
monopoly.
stations. Yeah,
monopoly laws.
You can't have the monopoly laws. And which is true, because imagine that, like that would, and that's why I always say smart people are always in the middle. Smart people are always, whenever you ask someone, are you left or right? Smart people will never go, I'm right.
Yep.
They're always center, because they like to hear both sides of the story. And then, because here, if you had a fight with your brother and you tell me the story, your end of the story, you are going to come out as a hero, and your brother's a bastard. Brother's a bastard.
Absolutely.
And if I hear the same story from him, you're an asshole.
Correct.
In his story.
Absolutely.
Right? So how do you know, how can you have an opinion about someone just by listening to one guy? You got to hear both sides of the stories. And that's why I absolutely, when I watched Game of Thrones, that completely changed the way I look at movies and TV series. Like Marvel and DC, I hate it now. Yeah. I absolutely hate it, because I'm sick of watching the hero winning. But Game of Thrones is not like that. Game of Thrones doesn't tell you who's the hero, who's the bad guy. They're just talking about families and everything these guys can do to protect the name and the reputation of their family. They're fighting for their family. And who doesn't fight for their family? Everyone does.
Absolutely.
So, like, I'm more into that kind of storyline where you are pretty much showing both sides and not giving, like, it's like giving you more stage time than the other. Obviously, you're gonna come out a hero. So that like completely changed the way, like it's hard for me to find a movie. Like when my mates ask me, you want to go watch a movie, it's very hard for me to say yes, because I know it's going to be again a shitty freaking like the hero wins at the end movie. And it's just
anytime I watch any modern movie now, I feel like I'm being served up some like lukewarm soup. You know what I mean? There's no flavor, there's no essence, there's no like I want something 3D that I can see from both sides, not 2D flat piece of paper. And that's what any Avengers shit is.
Exactly.
And
that's
anything, anything. Like, man, try and watch a comedy movie now. Like, what are we fucking talking about there?
Yeah, comedy movies are not what they used to be. Comedy movies when Hangover and stuff came out was like, that was an era.
What do you reckon the last decent
funny movie? Comedy movie? Funny comedy movie. I know Adam Sandler does like a lot of them.
They're not as good as they used to be, though.
Yeah, they're not as good as they used to be.
You can't now. It's like the studio has your fucking balls in a vice. Yeah. And I think that's changing, like with this whole Austin comedy movement. I'm sure you're aware of what's going on in Austin.
No, what's happening?
Well, so Joe Rogan moved from LA to Austin and opened up the comedy mothership.
Yeah, that I have
And a whole bunch of comedians followed him.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of comedians followed him.
Yeah.
And now there's a whole scene in Austin.
Yeah.
And it's away from the studios.
Yeah.
So it's always been comedy in LA.
Yeah.
And
New York.
And New York.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it was in LA, and that's where Hollywood is.
That's where Hollywood is.
And that's where the woke PC horseshit culture is.
Yeah.
So it's all mixed in.
Yeah.
And everyone was doing comedy to try and get into a movie. So it was all mixed in together.
Oh,
now it's in Austin. So people are doing different. That's where that's how you get your Theo Vaughns and your Shane Gillises.
Exactly.
Is getting them the fuck out of Hollywood. And people are starting to say that, like, who was it that just... I think Tim Dillon's... Do you know who Tim Dillon is?
Yeah.
I think he's self-funding a movie at the moment.
Self-funding a
movie and just doing it himself. And Bert got a movie as well. I didn't like it very much. But Bert Kreischer. Yeah. He got a movie, The Machine.
Yeah. He actually... Yeah, I think I saw something about it. I just never got around to watching it.
Wasn't great.
Yeah.
But anytime you're involved with these studios, they're businesses.
Yeah.
And they have to answer to, like, what the woke culture want, to your point earlier.
Yeah.
They can't just come out and have a left field... Like, your first joke about... that we were discussing earlier, yeah? Like, the premise is just so out there.
Yeah.
You can't do an out there premise anymore, and that's why we don't have those movies anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. And that's why, even programs like Netflix, I guess, is, like, doing a good job protecting... Like, because Dave Chappelle, like, again, he was under so much scrutiny and criticism from the trans community, from the whole LGBT community, because he just said all those things. But if you really listen... He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything.
No.
He's really not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, and it's good that Netflix is still like giving him more gigs, because here's the thing, because as soon as people see falling to a company like Netflix just surrendering to people, just 2% of the population, more and more of this will happen.
Yeah.
Way more of that will happen, because people will be like, fuck, we can bring down a global company. So see how much power that 2% of the people have if you submit to them?
Yeah.
And that's why I think what Joe Rogan is doing is absolutely great, who's giving comedians a platform. And, like, look, YouTube is great in a way as well, because, like, you know, you can monetize it. Like, if you are putting content out there, if you're a comedian, just putting specials, because YouTube is like a good way to put out specials. Like, again, because not everyone can sign a deal with Netflix and Hulu or whatever.
That's what Ari Shaffir did.
Ari Shaffir. Yeah, his special Jew was amazing.
Yep.
That special 1.5 hour special from a Jewish guy about Jews.
Being Jewish.
It's the best thing I've seen.
Yep.
It's one of the best things I've seen, and I'm so glad that it went viral. It was so popular.
And he got all the money.
He got all the money. There was no middleman. YouTube pays you directly. It's
Correct.
like when you have companies in between who tell you, all right, you only get this fixed amount, and we make all this, like, a lot of money. That's when even artist feels like a little bit...
Distribution used to be really important, though, because there wasn't YouTube. So 25 years ago, you had to have an agent, and you had to have this, and you had to have that, and a production company, because you couldn't just go and buy cameras and fund it, and there was no channels.
Yeah.
The channels were HBO and Comedy Central and all this sort of stuff. Whereas now, you can do it yourself and you will make more money and get more notoriety.
Yeah.
If anything, the company gets in the way.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's more like solo operation, I feel like, right now. Like, everyone wants to, and it's good, like, because you should be a solo entity, and like whatever work you produce, you should get all the profits for that work directly.
Absolutely.
And that's why, YouTube's doing freaking great. Without YouTube, a lot of comedians don't even know what to do with their specials anymore.
Do you use it?
I'm using YouTube, so I'm just putting out shorts right now because, again, I'm still new into comedy, so I don't really have bits that I want to put out.
Yep.
But, like, that is my plan for 2024.
That's a good point. So, for people who don't know what you just said, like, you don't have bits you want to put out, why wouldn't you just film everything and put it out?
I wouldn't, because they are not good, and they need... So, because I'm not satisfied that a bit is complete. When a bit is complete, if I'm writing a bit about, let's say, a chair, and if I've written 2 minutes on it, I'm not going to put it out until I know 100% that I've completed it, and then I'll put it out. That's why small jokes you can just put out, because it's reels and shorts, and it's a small joke, it's a one-liner, you gotta laugh easy. But with bits, like, because I'm finally getting in the stage where I can see some bits are completed, and that's why I want to start like recording like 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, merge them all together and just put it on YouTube, see what people think, and then have like a 10-minute video out there. So this is like what my plan is for the next year and coming years, and then when that goes well, of course, write 1 hour and then do like a special.
So like that's the plan.
That's the plan, yeah.
Fuck
specials.
Yeah.
You gotta do specials. This is your portfolio. Like wherever you want to go in the world, people can see your work.
And what was your timeline? Sorry. I was thinking about the next question. I missed your timeline.
2024. I kind of want to put out like the timeline as in for the social media aspect. Is that what you're asking?
You said you wanted to write an hour and put out a special.
Yeah, write an hour and put out a special. That's after seeing the... I want to... Because, again, to shoot a special, first of all, you need to sell tickets. And I'm not going to say...
True.
The thing is, look, anyone can... I can talk... This can be a special. Like, you can do a special wherever. You can do a special in your house.
Yep.
But, like, if I was doing a special, I would at least want 100 people to be there.
Yeah, okay.
So, unless I feel like I'm in a position to sell 100 tickets, like, that's how people have looked at me on social media. They like me, and I've got enough followers, enough subscribers or whatever. And so that's when I will try to book a room that can hold 100 people. Yep. And then that will be my but in
why does that matter?
You need a diverse enough crowd.
Okay.
Or decent and diverse enough.
Yep.
You can't really shoot a special. Like, I feel for your special to have some sort of like, I don't know, like a bit of spice, a bit of like you need this, a special with 20 people just feels like I don't know. I mean, you can do it. You definitely can do it, and it can be all about your material.
Just asking because I know most of my audience are not necessarily into comedy, and when I say into comedy, I mean like into the crux. Like, you know it because you do it. I know it because I spend all my spare time researching comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But most of the people who listen are like, who fucking cares? I'm there to hear your, like, why does it matter? From a layman's perspective, is it better? So the energy of the room is better for you, and it makes you kill your jokes a bit harder, and you feel a little bit more confident, and your material it comes through a little bit better, and therefore the special's better, or is it the laughter's louder? What do you think?
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, and I would say it's the most of the things you already covered. I feel the laughs are better, and the energy in the room is more intense. It's like, because comedian, like, your energy helps the comedian take it up a notch as well. Because when you have 20 people, and because if half of them are silent, because again, that's why I say a diverse crowd, you will always get people who don't laugh out loud. So if you only have a crowd of 20, and let's say 5 people they are liking you, but they don't laugh out loud.
Yep.
On your special taping, you're bombing in a way.
Yep.
because not enough people are laughing. But when you have 100 people, there's like a good bit of variety. Like you have enough people, yeah, because people have their own characteristics.
Yep.
Like some of them like to laugh, some of them like to stay quiet, some of them and some of them are not going to like you on some topics that you discuss. So that's why you need like a bit of a slightly bigger audience, that whatever, no matter what you talk about, there's at least 20 people who are liking and in a way helping you progress through the show more comfortably.
Yep.
Because it can really get to you when you're bombing and you're taping, you're like, oh man, this is so not good, I'm not gonna put it out there. So I think when you can
suck too, because you've spent your money. Like,
booking
sure,
the
you
room.
let's
Yeah.
say you sold 100 tickets,
Yeah.
and let's say you sold them for $25 each.
Yeah.
So what's that? $2,500.
Yeah.
Great, you made $2,500.
No, you
had
didn't
to
really.
You had to
'cause
get a
you paid-
camera crew.
You paid the camera crew, you paid the venue. There's
So
like
you're
a
at a
few
loss.
costs. And you
Probably at a
advertise your
loss.
show.
Yeah.
You're probably at a loss. So again, it's not a good thing. But again, the comedy, it's like
So if
business,
you're
it's a
bombing
gamble.
up there,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, so this special sucks, and I'm
If you're-
I'm out in the whole $500.
Yeah.
That'd suck.
That would suck, but again, if you are clever enough to identify, look, if you're a good comedian, first of all, you wouldn't bomb, because even if you're bombing, you'll try to find a way to make them laugh.
Correct.
If you're a good comedian.
Yep.
But let's say you're not a good comedian, you thought you were good, but you went there, or maybe the crowd just wasn't for you. Maybe you overestimated their response to your jokes. Maybe you just thought it was going to be good, but you didn't do your due diligence.
Yep.
Let's say.
Yep.
That can happen. In that case, yeah, because it's a reality check. Because again, nothing can be more truer than the fact that you bombed at your own comedy special, and then you go home and you know
Imagine
you're
that scarlet letter.
$500
Fuck.
in a $500 hole, right? And of course, the next time you want to come out with more of a bang. Now you wanna come more prepared, right? So in a way, that can be a good thing. Like, I don't necessarily see how that's a bad thing. Of course, I hope it never happens to anyone. But if I was to do a special, I would want to be in a position where I can sell about 100 tickets.
Sounds to me like you have a very good relationship with losing. And what I mean when I say that
Your
is...
relationship with losing.
No, because you don't seem afraid of it.
Yeah, because look, in life you're always going to lose. Even having a 9-to-5 job, you're going to get fired some day for saying something inappropriate.
Arguably, you're losing every day.
You're losing every day. The fact that you're going 9 to 5 every day, you're a loser.
Yeah.
And I mean that with no disrespect, because I am a loser. I go 9 to 5. I work in a company, and yeah, it's okay, but it's,
Wait,
it's...
you have a job and you go do comedy 4 nights a week? What do you do?
I'm a software engineer.
Yeah, right.
It's, yeah. Like, I always laugh when I say that, because it's a stereotype.
We've had this hour and 20-minute conversation, and then you come on with the accent and say, I'm a software engineer.
I'm a software engineer, because that's what my people are taught to become. Either that or doctor, and then I became that. But look, I've got I would say my parents are very supportive. Like, my mother definitely sees that you cannot really achieve greatness in life just by doing 9 to 5. You have to do something outside of the box. Like, you need to do something like run a business, something unique,
Agreed.
something that no one else is doing, or do something in life that's in, like, even your podcast. Even if there's 10 people out there who are just loving watching you every time you release something, you're doing a public service in a way.
Correct.
And you're making people happy. And to me, there's no bigger reward in life than making people happy. That's why I do comedy.
Most importantly, it is actually really good for my mental health. So this is one of the only things we're saying in the car on the way over. I don't necessarily love what I do. This is one of the only things that actually keeps the wheels on for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get to use that part of my brain.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, like, I'm very, I would say, what do you call it? Lucky in a sense that I've got parents who support my comedy, because again, I go out and I say sometimes horrible things, and like, you don't. The last thing you want is your parents finding out that you said that through someone and be like, oh, really? My son said that?
Yep.
It's like finding out that your daughter's doing porn or something.
Yep.
Like, you would rather, like, if you are a girl who's doing porn, I think you should tell your parents before they find out from somebody else. I think. Because
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, like, because imagine them finding out through, like, a friend, like your neighbor, like, because he saw it and he's like a 58-year-old guy. By the way, I saw your daughter last night. Really? Where'd you see her?
Can you imagine that?
She's in
Talking to
LA.
the neighbor. Your daughter's all right,
Your daughter's all right. Yeah, like, growing up, I didn't even, that wouldn't be nice. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to do something like this where you know that it can get controversial or society, because we all know what the society expects. The society expects you to be a fucking loser. The society expects you to go 9 to 5 and make an earnest living.
Yep.
Which is bullshit, because society doesn't want to see you fucking happy.
Yep.
Right? And that's why when you do something out of the box, people are just like, oh, but how can you do that? How can you say that? Right? Like, but you're doing all right, like OnlyFans. I don't see what's like, if that's their selling point, let them do OnlyFans. What's wrong with doing OnlyFans? But like, yeah, if you care about someone, you should tell them beforehand that, look, I'm going to do it. Yep. It's just selling my body. Look, Mia Khalifa said
whatever's next is going to be the quote for the thumbnail.
The quote. Yeah. Being in army is worse than being on OnlyFans, because you're selling your body to the government. That's what Mia Khalifa said. Right? And I'm like, for a porn star, she makes a lot of sense when she said that.
Yeah.
Being in army. Because, like, how can you... these government... What makes you want to just go pick up a gun and fight for your country? What do you know is happening behind the scenes? What do you know? What kind of deals these... everyone has got, like, a personal agenda. Everyone's got, like, this hunger for power. You don't know exactly when two countries are going on a war and when one country is supporting another one. You don't know exactly why, because all of that is very political.
Absolutely.
And you are not that closely associated with that world. So you are way out of it.
Absolutely.
So to feel pride in fighting for your country, I don't get what's... It's actually...
I think that's mostly gone
it's dumb.
Now.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly,
and that's why nobody wants to... Like, if there's a war tomorrow, no one's fighting.
Yeah.
No one's fighting. What are they going to execute everyone for cowardice?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and not everyone can be coward. It means you can't even... get people to believe in the country because you are not being honest to your people.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So that's what happens. Like, that's why. Like, if you have found, look, man, making money is not easy. And if you have found something that you love and you like making money and you can find a way to make money through that, pursue it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if it's going to be a little bit controversial, just tell people you love that, look, you are going to see some things, you're going to hear some things, be ready.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you're listening and you take anything away from this podcast, I would say it's that sentence right there. Like, if you found a way to make money and you love doing it.
Yeah.
Even if you're making a loss, like, let's say for the sake of the conversation, at your software engineering job, you make $115,000 a year, and you've worked out a way to make $78,000 a year doing stand-up comedy, you fucking won.
I won.
You won.
I won.
You won.
I won.
Yeah.
I used to think, like, even I just only have to make 60, 70 grand doing stand-up comedy a year, and I'll live a very happy life.
Correct.
As a stand-up comedian, you already get to travel so much. Like, two things are life is traveling and making people laugh. And then you have enough money to buy yourself food and stuff. Like, material success is not that big in my life. Like, I don't really want to drive around like a
Range Rover.
Porsche. I was thinking, Range Rover is fucking shit now, but it's like, if you have Range Rover, trust me, your car's value's gone down.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a Lambo, like a flashy Lambo, or like have a bigger beach house. That's like, it's nice. But I know it also is temporary.
At what cost?
At what cost, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so expensive. Why? Just to live in a fucking box. That's why I respect Mr. Beast. Like, with the things that Mr. Beast says.
Interesting.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's like, all the 3-4 million, whatever money he makes a month, he puts it into his next video, his next venture. He's like, well, why do I need a... But he lives in America, so it's very unsafe to live in America when you're that rich. You can't just live in a box because people will break into your house.
Is this the thing where he's upgraded his house because he got broken into?
Because he got broken into.
Because he like literally had like a normal house, and then
that's
he, like,
the only
got
reason
broken
why.
into because he was famous.
Exactly.
Like, I should probably get a different house.
Exactly.
But he just does not give a fuck.
Exactly.
And he's happy.
Yeah.
And that's what he's chasing.
Yeah. Because you get your real happiness from people around you. Like, when you are like, because you can be in like a nice 17-bedroom mansion, a next beach house with like your 10-car collection, but you have no one around you. How long are you going to enjoy that? How many times are you going to go for a drive?
Yep.
You have nobody around you. So, like, I would say, look, material success is important, and for a lot of people, that's all they care about. But your success in relationships should be as much of a priority as your material success, because nothing you do in life is great when people aren't there around you to congratulate you.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Oh, okay.
So at the bottom, your most basic needs to be met are physiological needs: breathing, food, water, shelter, clothing, and sleep. Once you have those met, you need safety and security met: health, employment, property, family, and social ability. And then you've got love and belonging: friendship, family, intimacy, a sense of connection, self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, the need to be a unique individual. And then at the top of the pyramid is self-actualization, morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning, and inner potential. But at the bottom is physiological needs, like, am I going to die tomorrow because I was left out in the rain overnight? Like, that's very basic needs.
Yeah,
I think that's a bit whack. I tend to agree with you in the terms of, like, love and belonging is a little bit more important than... So once you've got a roof over your head and you're actually safe, like if you're homeless, your priority is probably not being homeless rather than being liked.
Yeah, true. Like, you first want to find a house, and then and then people would want to, because that's the thing. Homeless, no one even wants to be friends with homeless people. Not even. I wonder if other homeless people wants to be friends with homeless people. Like, are they friends? I think they are, because they need to find. Yeah, because they have to find, like, a place to sleep together.
Jerry Seinfeld has a bit about that. He goes, I saw two homeless people talking in the park the other day. And he goes, what are they talking about? Because they're both homeless. So was one giving the other one advice? Because they're both fucking homeless.
Yeah. They really do not...
Yeah. There's no expert there.
There's no expert. Like, you really shouldn't be talking to each other. Talk to someone who does have a house. But they don't want to talk to a homeless guy, because as soon as they come, they're like, I don't even see you. I know you're talking to me, but I really don't see you.
That's it.
That's how people treat homeless people. But that was a very good chart. Yeah, that's exactly. So in life, it's important to find out what's it's useful to know what's important, like what's going to make you feel more loved and more content in life. And then you should definitely write it down, like, if it's not obvious to you, and like remember that as much as you can, because there's no point just like, it's just a life where you would just not be happy, like, I feel. Or if you can, like, that's what people say, like, I don't know, what if I'm the first one to be happy with $10 million and no family? All right, take it, fuck it. But it's just something.
Were you nervous the first time you went up? Were you nervous? Like a bit of butterflies?
I would say 5% nervous, but 95% excited.
Okay.
I was very excited.
So you don't ever get nervous now?
No.
No.
At all. And maybe if I saw, like, a really big crowd, I might.
Okay.
But I have the biggest crowd I've performed in front of.
What do you
75.
think when you go up? Like, what are you thinking? Like, you're just like, fuck, I can't wait.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I really can't wait. I can't wait to talk about the thing that I just worked on today. Like, I want to try and make it big, people laugh, and if they won't, sorry, I will add something to it. I'll add a bit of spice. I'll try to improvise. Let's see if I can get something out of them. So it's just like always, because man, stand-up comedy is like, being up on stage is something I'm looking forward to. Like, that's the reason why I get out of bed now. Like, people always ask you, what's the reason you get out of bed, and then in interviews you gotta lie, like, because your company is making products that people can use to send dick pics, I guess. Like, that's what motivates me, I guess. Those are the kind of answers you need to give in an interview to get hired. But like, genuinely if that's the best part of your day, you want to get out of bed and you just want to do it. You just can't wait to be on stage. So it's like, every day I'm like, even when I'm at work, I'm just thinking about, man, I just can't wait, and I really hope it goes well, but sometimes it doesn't, so who cares? But look, nervousness is a part of it, and everyone have like their own way of combating it. Everyone finds their own way.
One of the things that kind of half put me off was there was a girl, the night I went, there was a girl who had been doing it for 2 years, And I said to her, does the nervousness never go away? And she said, no, I threw up in the bathroom earlier.
Oh, really?
And I was like, ha ha ha. She's like, I'm not kidding.
Wow, threw up in the bathroom.
She threw up in the bathroom.
That's and she didn't have any drinks. Maybe she was hammered.
I think she had a
few drinks. She had a few drinks.
I think
Some
she
people
had a couple
I think
she had a couple of pills, to be honest with you. But
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I actually feel in a way sorry for people who can't get up without having a few drinks.
Yeah.
Because whether or not you're gonna get up and how comfortable you feel is dependent entirely on how many drinks you have before the show. If that's helping you calm your nerves, it's good, but it's also in a way not very sustainable. Like
yeah, if you're getting up 5 nights a week.
5 nights a week. I mean, how? And Shane Gillis, he talks about it openly. He talks about this openly.
Absolutely.
He's like, I don't drink before the gigs, but when I'm doing gigs, I drink during. So these guys drink like 9, 10, 11 beers, which is a lot.
That's a lot of beers.
But
that's why they're both heavy.
That's why they're both heavy. But look, like with me, that's why I try not to make a habit of it. Like I would drink here every now and then.
Yep.
But I want to be able to get up on stage without any alcohol and just be naturally funny. Because that's why, like, a lot of people, when I first came to the country, I wasn't drinking that much. I was always a lightweight. People keep telling me that. Even my sister drank more than me. She would call me a pussy for not being able to drink. She was like more of a man. I was like the daughter.
How much were you drinking?
How much was I drinking?
How much were you drinking? Like if she was calling you a pussy.
Oh, I would just take like a sip of beer and I would put it back.
No, you're a pussy.
I was 16. When I was 16...
I'm kidding.
I was 16. I would be like, yuck, that tastes bad. I would put it back. That's how much of a pussy I was. I would never drink. Yeah. But when I came here, I kind of wanted to fit in...
How old were you when you came?
18.
Yeah, okay.
18.
And were you on your own or your family or...?
No, on my own.
Yeah, you got PR?
Yeah.
I
do.
Was that hard?
Yeah, I mean, I just got it a few days ago, so it's only 8 years. Yeah, it's...
That was chaos.
Yeah.
But fuck yeah. No, my brother-in-law has been trying to get his PR for fucking a long time now, like 8 years.
They're making it harder in a way.
Yeah, he's Sri Lankan.
Oh, he's Sri Lankan?
Yep.
Okay.
And he really struggles with it. It's really, really hard.
Yeah, man, it's like... it's just the way they are making it. Like sometimes it's harder. But then COVID happened as well. That was another reason why my whole progress was delayed, because they just stopped giving invites to people and like accepting permanent residency applications. Yep. But yeah, now it's finalized and yeah, like and now they have a housing crisis because they accepted too many. So congratulations, Victoria. Yep. Good, smart decision.
Good job. Yep.
But yeah, what are we talking about?
That's not why there's a housing crisis.
That's not why?
No, it's because people in Frankston North push out 15 Centrelink kids so that they can stay on the dole for the rest of their life. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
People have children just to collect the dole. That's a thing.
Oh.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Really? People are doing that?
It's really common on farms out in, like, Gippsland.
Right.
People will literally, like...
But the government is so nice in Australia.
93 children. This is my entire retirement plan right here.
93 children. Let the money... And yeah, when you're cooking for that many people in bulk, it's not even that expensive. Like
that's a lot of rice.
Yeah. That's a lot of rice that you can cook.
Yeah.
Look, Australian government is kind of like easy to take advantage of in a way, sometimes I feel. And look, people are going to use and abuse it. Like if you give them because who wants to work? No one wants to work. Everyone would be so much happier if they can sit at home, eat a pizza, and masturbate and go back to sleep. They would be much happier in that life than just go to some shitty 9-to-5 job and fucking listen to their boss. No one wants to do that. It's just we just live in that kind of world. But yeah, it's if that's the truth. Like, look, it's I guess at some point they'll have to cut down. Like, because government's not stupid as well. It's just like it takes a while for them to make any drastic changes in law, like in Italy. I mean, look at America. Fucking, they can't even ban a gun. They are finding it so hard to ban guns.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous, and it's just something that you gotta get used to. What I find funny is that people are still sending their kids to school. Man, would you send your kid to school knowing you live in America and knowing the history?
Not a chance.
That would be fucked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sending your kid to school knowing in Texas, where it's everywhere. You just need one stupid kid on crack, or not even that. One stupid kid who got rejected by a girl because and he's gonna shoot up a school, and people are sending because there's no alternative. Like they can't be like, all right, let's do work or study from home forever.
Yeah.
But like homeschooling, I feel like is something that's getting big in America because of the.
Because of everything.
Because of the mainly another thing is
school shooting, the horse shit that they're teaching in the schools.
What are your pronouns?
Man, it's fucking chaos.
It's fucking people don't want like just teach them what they need to and leave the rest to us. Don't freaking ask them. Don't put shit in their head.
Yeah.
They're fucking kids, and that's why. Have you been following the American politics? There's an Indian guy there named Vivek Ramaswamy. Have you seen?
Yeah. I have heard a lot about him. I nearly watched the video last night and then I went to bed instead.
Yeah, I'm not. And I'm not saying it because he's Indian.
What's his go?
His go is, bro. I mean, of course, he's one of the conservative guys, and he's got like 10 commandments, and he's just talking about like these are my 10 rules to live life by.
Right.
And one of them is look at the.
Are they called the 10 Commandments?
10 Commandments. Vivek Ramaswamy put that.
10 Commandments.
Yeah, God is real. There are 2 genders.
Oh no, we were fine there. I could have just left that.
This one is good. Fox News. There are 2. Yeah, God is real. There are 2 genders. Human flourishing requires fossil fuels. Reverse racism is racism, and open borders.
What's reverse racism?
Yeah, I actually did get that one.
I don't know what.
Hating on white people.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hating on white people. Okay. Yeah, that is racism. I mean, just why are you fucking criticizing white people for what their fucking forefathers did?
Yeah, fuck that. White lives matter.
Yeah, white lives matter. Fucking just because his father used to be a slave owner doesn't mean he's also a bad guy. He's sitting here with an Indian guy on his podcast. He's a nice guy. Leave him alone. Fucking like you should.
Let him in.
You shouldn't be judged. You shouldn't be judging people based on their actions, based on the actions of their parents.
That's it. Absolutely.
Simple.
Yeah.
And open borders know about the parents determine in the education of their children. I fully agree with that. The nuclear family is the greatest form of governance known to mankind, and capitalism lifts people up from poverty.
This is where they get though, this one right here. The nuclear family is the greatest form of governance known to mankind. So that's how you systematically tear apart society, is by going after the family unit.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Because this guy, look, a lot of guys. What I like about this guy is that when he's preparing before the campaign, he sat down because he knows there'll be a lot of questions asked. He's running in a country where he's a Hindu, so again, that's he's
really
he's a Hindu. He's not a Christian.
He's a Hindu guy.
He's a Hindu guy running in a Christian country.
That's gonna be tough for him.
That's gonna be tough. Not just the skin color, because we have Christian people in India as well. There's lots of Christian people in India, and it would be way easier for them to run and just because they've already accepted Christianity. So for him to run as a Hindu guy in a Christian country and run with all those, I guess, commandments.
Yep.
It's applaud worthy, I would say, because he would not budge. Like if he fiercely believes something, he just comes out and says it, and he doesn't let it. There's no disparity between 2 speeches. Like he's never saying one thing to you and then he meets your brother and says something else.
Correct.
That's what I like about this guy. He's firm. He's honest. I know he does sound like ChatGPT when he talks.
Does he?
Like you can look him up. You can just put like Vivek Ramaswamy at the debate, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Like this motherfucker knows how to talk.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, look, I've known him now for a little bit, and I got to tell you.
It's good to see you. How are you, David?
I'm doing well. Hey, look, we're here with Gina Loudon, and we're curious about a lot of different things. Let's start with the Hunter Biden indictment.
Maybe
what's your take? What's happening?
Because like here, it's more of like an interview, but when he's at the debate, he's like he's going at it. It's like he's trying to prove a point, like in like a comedy. Yeah, like put any of them.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards, but did you know we also print that, and that, and...
Foreign policy experience is not the same as foreign policy wisdom. I want everybody at home to know that I was the first person to say we need a reasonable peace deal in Ukraine. Now a lot of the neocons are quietly coming along to that position, with the exceptions of Nikki Haley and Joe Biden, who still support this, what I believe is
pointless war in Ukraine. He doesn't look like a fucking idiot either.
And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, I mean, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are, but she wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. So reject this myth that they've been selling you, that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after, has real foreign policy experience. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression.
He seems
she
like
doesn't know the names of the provinces that she wants to actually fight for.
He goes really
hard.
At Nikki Haley especially.
Pain.
The donors right there that are playing like the puppet master.
Hold on. Let me just say something here. You know,
he seems like a statesman too. He gives like Brown Kennedy energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Brown Kennedy. That's it.
No?
That's it.
Like,
yeah, he does.
You just like look at it, like the way he conducts himself.
Yeah.
Like he's a statesman, yeah?
Yeah.
Beautiful eyes as well.
Let me just say something here.
No, I know that sounds dumb, but that's kind of important. Like, think about all the presidents. Like, the ones you like have great eyes. I know that sounds ridiculous, but like the eyes are the gateway to the soul.
You are leading a country. And you need to be able to speak in a way where people can be like, look, I want to be right behind this guy, like no matter what happens, right? Like that's the definition of a leader. A leader leads you through thick and thin.
Yep.
Like when the times are tough, it's a leader you look up to.
Yep.
So if you don't have that kind of energy, you're not a good leader.
Yep.
Right, like, and of course, it's also important with the kind of deals you're gonna make with like foreign, all the other countries to keep your economy intact, and of course all of that is important, but it's the way you speak, and I feel like he's got that. I mean, of course he's not anywhere as close to Trump, because Trump still's got like a very popular amongst the voters, but they're like, yeah, he's right up there. Like he could be the vice president and then like in the next term become look to becoming the president.
Absolutely.
Like so yeah.
Do you think are you suggesting you think Vivek might run alongside Trump?
Because he every time he speaks,
is that on the cards?
Trump might actually, because if he's not able to, Trump might, because again, who was Trump with before? Mike Pence, and that guy is
he's not around anymore.
The brightest tool in shed. So of course there's only a few left. And Vivek, like he's gonna give them both a tough fight. Like he has that kind of energy where he's like, okay, I'm going for the presidency, but he's still very young. So even if, for him to really run opposite Trump and win would be, oh my God, it would be the biggest thing in the world. It would just be like, I don't really see how you can top that because of the love people have for Trump. Like, but he's still doing well on polls. And like if he runs with Trump and like they both become president and vice president, and then later he can pretty much, because Trump will be then done with his 2 terms, so he can't run.
Well, that's it. I think he's gonna win. Trump, I reckon he'll win.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
Well, like look at the fucking sock puppet that's running the country at the moment.
Yeah.
Like the voters,
Biden.
the voters are gonna vote for him.
Yeah, Trump. He's at least, say whatever you will about Trump. At least that man, look, the whole world wasn't falling apart when he was president.
Country was
because
better.
that's what people look at. That's what people look at, because there was no fight between Russia and Ukraine. There was no fight between freaking the Israel Palestine again.
Yep.
Right. So all of this happens when, and again, the Taliban recapture freaking Afghanistan.
Yep.
All of that that's the thing. Like when you see a president, you don't just see that country. You see, because everything that's happening in the globe affects that country indirectly.
Yep.
So all of that is still very important. Like the gas prices go up and all that, which is why people know that you need a leader that other people are gonna fear. Because if you don't, this is from Game of Thrones. This is not me. But if people don't fear you, they won't follow you.
Oh, absolutely.
In a way. I feel there is some truth to that.
I think you need to have like a master chess player running your country. You know what I mean? A master chess player, someone who can see 5 or 6 moves ahead. A good deal maker, a good talker. You know what I mean? A master chess player.
Yeah. Because like making deals is all about like knowing who can benefit you the most. What kind of move will be. Yeah, see, that's actually very true. Like, except
you want a deal maker.
Yeah. Has there ever been a president who, in the history of like any country that had a background of chess? Like, Is that something that we can look up?
Well, I know Trump's son is a chess grandmaster. Presidents who were chess grandmasters. Interesting, isn't it? Theodore Roosevelt.
There you go. So they
played chess.
I just played chess. He wasn't really like a master. Who are you?
I want a list.
The Carlson guy. Trudeau could be replaced with the Canadian. That Carlson guy. What's his name?
Tucker.
No, not Tucker Carlson. The chess player who's really big from Canada. What's his name?
I don't know anything about that.
Magnus Carlson or something.
Okay.
Like, you can look him up. And because from what I can see, bro, how stupid that was, by the way.
What's this? I don't know anything about this. Tell me about this.
So, have you seen what's happening in Canada?
No, tell me.
Dude, they, because Canadians, there's like a very big Punjabi population there. Punjabi people are from India.
Did not know that. I know very little about Canada.
Okay, yeah, Canada is like filled with Indians, but like a special group of Indians, which is Punjabi people.
Yep.
And recently, at like a game, it was like a big event, they sang the Canadian national anthem partially in English and partially in Punjabi.
Okay. And what's the problem there?
The problem is that...
What's the statement?
So pretty
what
much
are they
the statement
saying?
is... Alright, so Canada is a country now, because Canada used to be
an
English-speaking country.
When you say they, I get it. So, like, the woman on the stage.
Yeah, they were.
I thought you were saying
people.
the Punjabi people were like. I'm imagining like Boxing Day tests, and they're like singing half of it in Punjabi. I'm like, well, they probably would. No, the woman on the stage singing the national anthem.
You can look it up. So this is the national anthem. They're speaking. They're singing in English, like which it is, and then converted the rest of it to Punjabi.
Okay.
And that was like.
It's like Spanglish.
Yeah.
Which is what they speak in areas like Miami. In the US, because there's such a Spanish population there that they have to speak Spanglish, which is English and Spanish.
Yeah.
So I get it. Yeah.
It'll be very soon taken over, I feel like, because that's what this. I've never been to Canada, but this is what I hear is that when you go there, everything is written in English and Punjabi.
Really?
Yeah, like
interesting.
So those are the two languages because those are the two major populations in Canada. Not even French Canadian. Like there's no French. Like it's Punjabi or English.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's like that was one of the biggest thing where people were like, "Oh, Canada's lost its mind." Like the fact that they are allowing people to do that. It's because Canada is again very liberal, very woke,
very liberal,
very
so
liberal.
Is Australia.
Australia? Yeah, so is Australia. Exactly.
So is Australia.
I was at the gig last night.
Does that piss you off?
Does that kinda? Yeah.
And pisses me off too.
It pisses me off.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. Like, you shouldn't have. Look, you should have the right to question everything. You should have the right to question.
But
that's why I had nothing about
not half of the things though. Everything.
Half of the things. Everything, yeah. Everything.
Both sides.
Yeah, that's why I believe the earth is round, but even I give flat earthers a chance.
Sure.
I give them a chance. I'm like, okay, I will listen to you. I know I wouldn't be like, it will take you a lot of justification to change my mind. But I'll listen to you. I'll listen to your side of the argument.
Dude, I'm 100% exactly the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, with anything.
How do you know?
With anything, because I don't know. And
exactly.
I think if you're gonna, it's funny. So I think I think there's like two different types of brains, and I think we have a very similar type of brain in the sense that I'm always very open-minded to anything. Yeah. So I will have people on this podcast, and I disagree with them, but I don't disagree with them. You know what I mean? I'll be like, that's not what I think.
Yeah.
But like, I'll sit down with them and I'll just be like, I'm like, prove me wrong. Like, change my mind. And I give it a fair chance, and I put my prejudices aside. It's not about what I think. It's about what's correct here.
What's correct.
Yeah, and I think that if more people had that sort of brain, the world would be a better place.
It would be.
Because you wouldn't get into these ridiculous arguments over nothing.
Yeah. It is a skill in people to be able to listen to someone else and have a mature conversation about it.
Absolutely.
Without letting it affect you too much, right? Like it's sometimes you meet people and you say something, they will straight away just.
Do you know what it is? It's insecurity. People wrap. It's insecurity. So people wrap their beliefs up in their own self-esteem.
Yeah.
So if you come at my beliefs...
Yeah, it's like, you see that with religion a lot.
You're attacking me?
Yeah.
And they're self-conscious.
Self-conscious, yeah. You see that mainly with religion. As soon as a guy, an atheist who does not believe in religion, starts making good arguments, these people get super fucking mad.
Yep.
They are like, how dare you say that?
Yep.
How dare you have a good argument?
Yep.
We live in a world of arguments. We live whether if you make a better point, you win.
Absolutely.
But a lot of the time, it's the kind of world. That's why I hate the PC world, because you can't even ask questions. Because as soon as you do, you're a bigot.
Yep.
You're a misogynist. You're a bigot. You're a sexist. You're like all kinds of fucking shit they're gonna throw at you.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy, and that's not how you become progressive. Being progressive is about being able to listen to each other and then meeting halfway and finding common ground.
The other one is when people decide they're right wing and then change parts of themselves to become more right wing. Does that make sense? So they might have a belief. Let's say they believe. I'm trying to think here. They believe traditional right-wing ideologies like I believe in God, I believe in creation, I believe in self-sufficiency, I believe in working hard and getting paid, and the government doesn't help me. But then they will change parts that they don't really care to really fit in with the rest of their right-wingness. You know what I mean? Like, fuck gay people.
Oh, yeah.
They change themselves to become this caricature of themselves. You know what I mean? And I think that's dangerous.
That is.
They're all right or all left, rather than like
radical anything is bad. Radical anything.
Yeah.
Is very bad. You should always be a person who's open-minded, willing to listen to other people. I mean, you can still have your beliefs. You don't necessarily agree with them. But if you can't have a conversation with someone without just getting completely agitated and irritated at the person, then look, there's a problem with you. Because you've been brainwashed so much that legit you are willing to accept anything else, and that's how they have terrorism. How do you think terrorism is born? By brainwashing people. It's not because people are not born that way. You and I are not born that way. But if I keep brainwashing you about a certain thing, and if I tell you, look, these people are bad because they do these kind of things, you should go and kill them. This is where your inability to not. And that's why you also need to talk to a lot of people. You can't just be meeting with people from your community, because again, your community always have like a big influence on
echo chambers.
Yeah. See, you can't do that. You need to mix with people.
Absolutely.
You really need to mix with people.
Absolutely.
You need to see that there's more to people than them being half the, like, even during the World War II, do you think most of the soldiers didn't actually believe in freaking killing Jews? They were like, what did he do to me ever? But it's the way they were brainwashed. It's
national
just,
pride.
Yeah, and that is a very bad thing. Yeah,
they weren't necessarily anti-Jew, but they were pro-Nazi.
Yeah, exactly.
They liked what Hitler was doing for Germany, because after World War II, I got a funny thing to say after this, but after World War II, after World War One, Germany was blamed for World War One, and Hitler said, "No, fuck you, and we're gonna make Germany great again."
Yeah,
basically.
Make Germany great again.
So I've got a staff member who's Jewish, and I was talking to her about Hitler the other day, and she goes to me, "Are you one of those white guys that just know way too much about Hitler?" I thought that was one of those white guys. I thought it was great. I was like, oh, I guess.
History is fascinating.
So
to me.
Good, isn't
so
it?
fascinating.
Yeah.
I love learning history, man. It's like one of my favorite things, because it's people.
Yep.
How are you? Because we have to deal with people every day.
Yeah.
You have to deal with people every day. You need to know what people are capable of doing, and history is the biggest testament to what people, like, the biggest freaking evidence you have
100%.
to what people are capable of doing.
100%.
If I gotta live with people, I need to know what we are capable of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And yeah, history is something like, it's not. I study it religiously. I love, like, I like to dig deeper. I like to dig
history
deeper.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
History's good.
History's great. Like, what's your favorite historic event?
It's definitely World War II after the back of that last comment. I don't know. What was that?
Pre-Republican.
I don't know what that means. Yes.
Because people, because the thing about World War II is also that people always see like Japan as like a victim at the end because of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah.
But I would actually say more people know about Hiroshima and Nagasaki than people know about Pearl Harbor. What Japan did to America first. Again, they had that political.
Well, that's what I was thinking. You said it, and I was like, well, they engaged.
They engaged.
If you open up a fucking can of whoop ass, you better expect a bit of spillage.
Exactly. I know. I'm not justifying what they did was right, but like they had, and again from. I go back to Game of Thrones a lot because there's some really beautiful quotes. And Tywin Lannister, have you seen Game of Thrones, by the way?
Yep.
Okay, if there's any viewers who have not seen Game of Thrones, I'm gonna throw out a spoiler.
No.
Don't be mad at me. It's Tywin Lannister. He kills a family at a dinner table, and then his son pretty much tries to confront him, like, why did you did you kill them at the dinner table? That's not noble. And then he just goes, tell me, why is it more noble to kill 1,000 people in a battlefield than 12 people at a dinner table?
Yeah,
it's like it's true. It's true. If you can find an easy way of doing something, like we are doing it too, and people are losing, like AI. Like if you can find, I mean, there will still be jobs. I'm not saying there won't be jobs, but if AI can help you do something faster, why wouldn't you use it?
Absolutely.
Right? That's what we strive for in humanity. Like that's what we are striving towards. Like just finding ways to improve our lives every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you will be. You will never be outdated or you'll never be outdated. You will still be in the picture because you're still humans who build this stuff. Yeah, it's a long way to go before something can fully replace you. Very long to go. Yeah, but look, it's like otherwise what are we gonna do? Just put a halt on everything? Like just stop it? You're never gonna stop. You're always gonna keep producing better things. So like a faster car, finding a way to go to Mars or whatever. Yeah,
Man, I agree.
It's great. Yeah,
it's good, isn't it?
Yeah. What are we looking for?
He's looking around for a pen. I just remembered I got to get you to sign this desk.
All the people that have been here.
Yeah, man, for sure. I reckon Sophie took it. Is it over there somewhere on that? I reckon it's on that thing over there on the bookshelf. Yeah. When are you back up?
So I'm back. What's today? Saturday.
Yep. And then we got New Year's Eve tomorrow, New Year's Day Monday. Surely no comedy clubs open on New Year's Day.
No comedy's open. I think probably next Friday.
Yeah,
next Friday. I've got a little bit of time to work on stuff.
Yeah, cool, man.
Yeah. What are you gonna do when this table is filled with signatures? You replacing it?
That's a good question. I haven't got that far.
Yeah.
I really don't know. The idea is to sell it one day. To get the podcast to a point where there's a bit of an audience and we can actually sell it for something.
Oh, yeah.
And then start again.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Could you imagine if you had the first Joe Rogan table? That's a piece of memorabilia, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
That is.
So I thought I'd create a piece of memorabilia.
Yeah.
And authenticate it with all the signatures.
Memorabilia.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put in plenty of work, and I'm so happy to see it.
It's good fun, man.
It's like I can tell. I like your setup.
It's fun.
It's a good setup.
Is there anything we haven't discussed that you might like to discuss? Did I ask you all the questions that I should have?
I wasn't even expecting any questions. I just thought we were gonna have a chat. No, but
yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I actually don't plan. I just make this shit up on the spot.
It's great.
I had one question, and that was it. And that was the question about, do you get nervous?
Do you get nervous?
Yeah. And only because it pertains to me, really. Yeah. No, that's cool, man. So, where can people regularly find you? If anyone's listening, look down the barrel of the camera. Where are you usually appearing?
I am usually appearing at Sellers, because that's the only open mic that's consistent. It always was, it always has been. And you can come down to Sellers. You see a wide range of comedians. They're lots of fun, and you get to buy cheap alcohol, and it's good fun on a Friday night, 8 p.m. in St. Kilda, Bring a little bit of powder if you want to. It'll be fine. I'm pretty sure we'll find people to finish it for you.
Yes.
If you can't do it yourself. But, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And, it was great. I guess I'll be...
That's it?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez,
thanks so that's the play out music. It's now just... Oh, my goodness. It's done that again, hasn't it? Man, doesn't matter how many times you click a button. Doesn't do what you want. That was the, it's supposed to be on repeat. Anyway, we're going to find this pen. Thanks for coming on, man. Coming all the way from Sunshine. This has been episode 19.
Let's go, 19,
man.
Fuck yeah.
Plenty more to come.
Slowly and steadily, you're going to reach...
What was it that I heard this week? Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast.
Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast.
Yeah, man. And on that note, thanks for watching.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Thanks, man. That was sick. That was really good fun, man.
Yeah, that was good fun.